Today we'll be talking about the CaddxFPV Protos HD FPV kit. Now when I first heard about this thing, I was really excited because CaddxFPV is a big name in the FPV industry and I think they've been quiet for some time, so now coming up with a new product and a completely new system that comes with goggles, remote controller, a drone, and it's HD, I was really curious to see how it's going to perform. So this is a completely ready to fly system that you can pick up for about $359 and start flying right away. So let's see what you have in the kit and everything that comes in the package. It's a really nice hard shell case that keeps everything nice and secure inside. So we have these box design FPV goggles, a remote controller, 3 batteries in total, the drone itself, which is a 1.6 inches and weighing just over 100 grams, some spare parts and some extra propellers, a quick start guide, and a couple of different cables for charging. Now, the drone itself is ridiculously small. It's a lot smaller than I anticipated. Yes, of course, it's a 1.6 inches, so I had to be ready for the size, but even though I knew it's a small drone, it was a little bit smaller than I expected. It's very, very lightweight as well. The battery is also super small. It promises a flight time of up to 10 minutes, which, let me tell you right away, is not the case. It's a lot less than that. But when you put it inside the drone and you slide it in, it powers on automatically. You don't have a button to power on or power off the drone. You simply need to kind of put your finger inside the canopy, lift it up a little bit and slide the battery out, and that's how you power it off. The remote controller is a little bit basic. It's a simple remote controller that it's not the most comfortable one in the world, but it does the job just fine. You have a couple of different switches and buttons that are predefined. So we have a arm switch here on the left that arms and disarms the drone. We have a beeper button. We have a 3-position switch that switches between the 3 different flying modes. We have acro, angle mode, and position hold. The other 3-position switch that we have on the remote controller is responsible for switching between the 3 predefined rates that this drone comes with. You cannot change them as far as I know. And we have a button to flip the drone after a crash, which I do not advise you to use if you're still a beginner, because you might burn the motors or you might have some debris in the drone that will damage it even more. This is the charging cradle that holds 3 batteries in total. It's quite small and portable. You have LED lights showcasing the amount of battery you still have in each of those packs. We also have the power cable for the goggles, which you can power on through the button here on the battery. You don't have a power button on the goggles themselves. And finally, we actually have the goggles, which are quite large. They're also a little bit bulky and I would say heavy. They're not comfortable. They don't have like any adjustments on them, so you cannot really tweak anything to make them more comfortable. They have this foam here on the back that is supposed to make it a little bit more comfortable for your face. But I found out that especially here on the bottom where it cuts for your nose, it's actually bare plastic, and that's what is sitting here on your nose at all times. So this becomes extremely uncomfortable if you're flying for a longer period of time. I'm not sure why they didn't include any foam here, or at least something to make it a little bit more softer for pilots who want to use these goggles for a longer time. For me, these goggles are some of the most uncomfortable ones that I've ever tried, not only because of the box design, but also just the way they sit on your face is not a very pleasant one. You have the strap here on the back that obviously you can configure to fit on your face, so they are nice and snug on your head. You have an LED strip here on the front, which you will see when I power them on. And you have a regular joystick button here and a back button and a play button here on the side. Very basic setup for just being able to go through the menus really quick, but nothing unusual and nothing really fancy, I would say. So this is how the goggles look like when you power them on, with this LED strip here on the front, which as far as I know is not customizable for different colors. It's always this yellow/orange color. And you have the fans that you might be able to hear. If I put this closer to my microphone, you might be able to hear how much noise the actual fans make. Now, the screen of the goggles is also a little bit weird. I'm not sure why CaddxFPV has made some of these decisions that they have made. So the screen itself is nice and bright and you can clearly see all the information, all the data on it very easily. But it kind of dips down, so the bottom portion where you have the telemetry, the battery information and everything that's important for your flight is kind of hidden from your eyes. So you have to kind of wiggle them on your face, move them around so you're able to see that bottom portion of very important information from your telemetry if you want to see it. If you don't want to see it, then maybe it will be a little bit more comfortable for your face, but then you will not see that important information, which is a big bummer in my opinion, and something that again doesn't really make any sense. Before we get to my experience with the drone and how it flies, there is a little bit more information about the drone that I want to tell you. So one of the reasons why I was so excited to check out this drone is because of a brand new digital system that the drone comes with. It's called Ascent. With the Ascent HD VTX, CaddxFPV promises that you will have a lot better penetration, up to 30% better than what it used to be, 3 milliseconds of latency, which is quite insane, and up to 6 kilometers of flight range. So now you see why I was so excited to check out this brand new system and see how well it's going to perform, what range I'll be getting, how well the footage is going to look like. Even though it's a 1080p footage, it's not 4K, it's still HD, and I had really high hopes. So when I first started flying in a city park, quite immediately I was disappointed. I was really disappointed by the range, by the way the DVR looks inside the goggles, because the goggles themselves are quite crisp and the information and the telemetry when you see it is quite nice. However, it's just the penetration was not as good as I was hoping. The range was really less than ideal. It was nothing close to the promised up to 6 kilometers, which of course I understand is the maximum ideal flight range in FCC mode, which obviously I'm not in. I'm in CE mode, and even if we set it to 1 kilometer in our minds as a maximum flight range, even when flying in a park where you have a lot of trees and a lot of different objects that will ruin your signal and make it a lot less than that, it's still under delivered and it still was not as good as I was hoping for. Every single time the drone went a little bit too far for its own system, you had those black bars, so it kind of crops your image from the sides, and this is a good indication that you're kind of reaching the end of the signal. So when you get those black bars, when you get your image cropped, this is when you should turn around and start going back. So in many situations I was really close by, maybe because I was flying sometimes behind me, but I was maybe 10 meters behind myself, and still I had a very bad image, very bad transmission, and I was flying at 100 milliwatts. You have the option to change between 25 and 100, and you have the chance to switch between smooth in your goggles or high quality. I guess that's a way to set the latency. So even when flying in smooth or when flying in high quality, it wasn't really making any big difference. I chose smooth just so I can have a little bit better flying experience, and I can enjoy flying the drone more than 10-15 meters away from me, but that didn't really help that much. So the signal was definitely the number one thing that I really didn't enjoy. In terms of how the drone flies, I have good things to say. I think for a super small 100 gram 1.6 inch drone, it flies great. It was very smooth. Now, I was not the smoothest on the sticks because of my throttle control. It was still my first couple of flights with the drone, and I was not too used to how much throttle I should put on the drone. But still, this is kind of my fault. It's not anything bad to say about the drone. The drone flies well, especially when you pick up the speed a little bit, then it's actually very enjoyable thing to fly. However, as soon as you pick up the speed, you get bad signal, you need to turn around and go back. So that kind of ruins the whole experience because you can't really go that far with the drone. but the flying itself was great. The drone can do some flips and rolls, so it's not a bad drone by any means. However, it's just the biggest limitation, in my opinion, was the signal strength and the whole HD system, which maybe I had too high expectations from, which obviously were not met. Now, obviously, this is a beginner-friendly drone, so for $359 you get the drone, you get 3 batteries, a charger, goggles, and remote, which is still relatively cheap for what you're getting. However, I don't think if you're a complete beginner and you get this drone, you will fall in love with FPV, as it's just a matter of how the drone performs. For what you're getting, it's a good deal, but for how it's performing, not as much. It might be better to hold on from purchasing this drone, maybe invest a little bit more time on the simulator, and then maybe save this money and invest it into a little bit more, I would say, better performing drone in terms of signal, even if it's going to be like a DJI drone or an HD0 drone. It's something that will make it a lot more enjoyable for you if you're just looking to start out with FPV, because you will crash a lot with this drone because of the signal, and let me tell you, it's a plastic drone, so it held up on all of the crashes very well. However, just crashing because you're losing signal all the time is not fun. It's going to be fun if you're crashing because you're doing something, you're trying out new moves, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But crashing because you don't see anything in the goggles is just annoying, in my opinion. So I don't recommend you to buy this drone if you're just starting out. I still think it's a relatively okay type of product, but it's definitely not something that I would recommend to everyone. So it's an interesting way to get into this new system from CaddxFPV. I'm curious to see which way they will go, especially with the DJI ban incoming in the US potentially. They might have, you know, a little bit more opportunity to claim some part of the market, and potentially some customers might move into their ecosystem. But with that, I'm not sure they will gain a lot of new customers. Who knows? We'll see. I guess time will tell. But for now, these are my impressions of the CaddxFPV Protos kit. Let me know what do you think about that drone in the comment section below. And I'm curious to see how FPV will develop in the new year. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this one. Never stop flying, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.